Internal Affairs. This is Carla.
Yes, hi Carla. I just had a super duper quick question. It's the most obvious question. It's almost a trick question because I already know the answer. It's so simple. But Terry law does not apply to security guards. Is that correct? To assume?
I don't know anything about security guards.
Well, naturally, we'll just sum it up. A Terry stop is something that cops use for reasonable suspicion. It's kind of like a little thing that was carved out of the probable cause to give you guys the right to stop people and not get in trouble. If you're lawfully engaged in an investigation, right? It sounds pretty legit. Well, I'm just trying to start off on this foot because it's the quickest foot I found to start off on. But basically, security guards don't have these powers to detain people for reasonable suspicion. It's very simply put. We're not talking like a citizen's arrest or like a shopkeeper's privilege or something like that, or when they actually witness them trespassing on their property, something like that. We're just talking like doing like actual investigations and like detaining someone for suspicious type of behavior, and then running their names and then like letting them go, basically. So with those two concepts established, that reasonable suspicion is something that only cops have, and security guards are just regular citizens and otherwise aren't cops. That's basically my complaint. I'm giving you guys sort of like one last chance because I know it's in there because I just got it with the other internal affairs guy right before he hung up. But basically, there's a bogey in your system right now. There's a whole bunch of cronies, Frazier on up into the OIM over this exact issue. Literally, no one is willing to admit these two facts. Basically, in a nutshell, DU security guards claimed that they were cops and detained my brother and I during an investigation. What they claimed was using reasonable suspicion. And we gave our names because we thought they were cops at the time. Found out.
Let me stop you there. Do you have a complaint against a Denver police officer?
Yes. Okay. So yes, I have a whole paperwork chain that is otherwise closed, meaning Sergeant Frazier had I had opened up something up with him regarding the two officers that night, Watkins and Ariano, and then from there the Frazier I had to sort of complain on him to the OIM, and so I got the letter back from the OIM, but they themselves are incorrect on this exact concept, and so I called back to you guys, Internal Affairs, just going back down the chains. Because I know it's just a miscommunication, and sure enough, I got a different internal affairs guy who I got through to, but sort of, but not enough to get the paperwork rolled backwards. But basically, I'm just trying to get you guys.
I can't provide you anything that's not police related, sir.
No, it's true. What I'm trying to say is you guys have. I know it sounds really weird to just throw this out there, but we have verified cronies in your system right now, like paperwork. They're attached to my case numbers that I've given you guys, both internal affairs all the way up to OIM. Basically, you guys are ratifying that security guards otherwise effectively have reasonable suspicion. And so I'm about to go to your mayor. I'm about to literally go to like the UN because of how I've been given this runaround. And so I don't want to do that. I want to just tell you guys to go look at my paperwork one more time because I got through that one internal affairs Unser yesterday, I think, or something like that. And so I just wanted to call back and talk to him or Frazier or even you just to clarify that simple concept. Terry law doesn't apply to security guards. I was detained with a Terry stop by these DU security guards. My name is William Montgomery, and you guys already filled out all the paperwork and closed it all out for me. And I'm really truthfully trying to like save you guys. So. It's that simple. I really don't want to have to go to like the mayor to explain to the mayor that, I couldn't get through such a basic concept. It almost makes me feel stupid. I mean, I know I'm working with like these people really thick-headed. No, it's just. I sort of got through to Unser. We had a breakthrough. okay, so let's put it this way. I don't know yet if it's one of these two things. Have I gotten all of the facts across them? And do they really, really believe that security guards have the right to detain and so forth and so on?
Those two things.
Or are you guys just mistaken? Because like Unser knew what I was talking about right away, and I just haven't gotten the right words across to get the right complaint across for you guys to get that fire lit. Because right now it looks like you guys are effectively ratifying that security guards do have these powers. But I want you guys to like tell me to my face that, basically. Otherwise, there's some good faith in there or something like that. I don't know.
Sorry,
Sergeant Joe Unser, Internal Affairs.
is not available. Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hey, Sergeant Unser. It's me, William Montgomery. I can be reached here at 970-825-4421 or 970... Excuse me, sorry. I'm outside here. That's 970-825-4421 or 970-4125-463. So, yeah, I know you hung up on me there at the very end of the conversation last time, but it all happened so fast. I'm not exactly sure that the right words were exchanged and the right concepts were agreed upon. So it's very, 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 very basic. I'm getting ready to turn around and explain this to the mayor. I don't want to have to. It's a lot of wasted time. And ultimately, I don't want to have to explain to even past that if the mayor doesn't believe it or whatever. Basically, there's one of two things that could be going on. Either you guys have gotten all the facts across from me, and that you're going ahead and ratifying or believing something, or that you don't have all the facts across yet. And so I'm going to go with option number 2, that I haven't gotten all the facts across yet, because you and I had a small little breakthrough there last time when you said that terror law doesn't apply to security guards. That's exactly the breakthrough that I've been trying to get with Internal Affairs, OIM, everybody. And so if you look at my actual case with the DU security guards, I am claiming that I was detained using reasonable suspicion. And the only reason why I did so was because they claimed they were cops when we asked them when we were told to provide IDs. So there's the impersonation / false imprisonment. They kind of go hand in hand. But ultimately, we were falsely detained by people who claimed to be using reasonable suspicion, and it sounded to me, like the officers that night, like security guards have been doing that for years, and that it was kind of a ratified behavior. It's their property; they can stop people and question and so forth. Sure, they can consensually ask people to answer questions and stuff, but you hit it right on the nail. They don't have the power to detain using reasonable suspicion based upon Terry law. So that's what happened to us. We still have an audio that we're getting to release here around to. We personally, all the facts seem to be there, and there doesn't seem to be any controversy around these facts. I think it's just a controversy around the law and what Frazier thinks is, what everyone thinks is. If you actually read the actual Internal Affairs report, it actually says, they're basically saying that, yeah, they're allowed to detain you. It was a short detainment. Mel, the cop on that streets that night, said, hey, they didn't use cuffs like how we detain people, with our level 2. And so we tried to explain to them that we consented to authority, and that's why it wasn't a physical detainment. And the only reason why we consented to the authority was because the authority was given that it was a cop. And a cop asking for my ID is an obstruction charge on the other side if I don't show it pretty quickly. So we felt like we were pretty freaking railroaded on this whole thing. And, we don't mind complaining because, it's due process. What we do mind is when people buzz our complaints, pretend that nothing happened, or that we were mistaken, or maybe we didn't think that they were cops correctly. No, there's a very big difference here between us just simply thinking that they were cops that night and them leading us to believe that they were cops that night. And so if you hear the audio, we asked very outright, are you guys cops? And they said, yeah, I am, was the main guy. So from there, it all happened so fast. They asked for our IDs so fast that all we could ask for, are you detaining us? And, are we free to go yet? And they said no, but then they gave our IDs back. By the way, security guards aren't supposed to be able to run IDs, if you think about that too, all by themselves without any cops present.
He told us to not reach for our pockets.
Yeah, he told us to not reach for our pockets, so that kind of scared us. And so basically, we finally started asking enough questions after he let us go to drill down that, sure enough, he doesn't actually have a real Denver police badge number. And so
once we figured that out,
once we figured that out, we called the cops in, tried to get a false imprisonment. We tried to get the definitions across. Watkins and Ariano, the cops that night, basically didn't really do anything correct in terms of taking our complaint, and then they basically said there wasn't a complaint to take down, and that's why it was going up to Frazier. Failure to report. Up to Internal Affairs. Failure to report. OIM. Failure to report.
Also, we have run-ins with many other security guards for years before this, so we already knew security guard law very well going into this.
Yeah, we don't really give up our names to security guards.
We were wanting to hear...
Anyways, we have lots of case law that we already know about security guards. They don't have these types of powers. That's all we were trying to complain about.
We were wanting to see if he was a security guard so we could just leave that night.
Yeah, that's why we asked him. So please call us back. Thank you.